bringing my love from me to you. The I'll show. Help me help you to help me help you. The I'll show. Bringing my love from me to you. The I'll show. Help me help you to help me help you.
I've come here for a brain, and I'm not leaving until I get one.
G'day. How is everyone today? Happy Thanksgiving to all my US viewers, and my non-US viewers, happy Friday. It is Friday, right? Is Berserk awake? Asked Amit Rayner. No, I don't believe he is. I think he's probably drunk and passed out somewhere. Who have we got in the chat? Let's just have a look here. We've got Linkovich Chomovsky. Hail, hello. Amit Rayner is here. Hope you're doing well. Lion Ratton and Lord Finatra. Hail, hail. Spirit Scar is here. Fresh from his angry fights with War Red User. Merry Thanksgiving. I think you're confused. Thursday in America still. Really? Are you sure? Anyway, today's a little bit of a special show. Because it's Thanksgiving and everyone's full of food and tired, I thought, you know what? I might just give you a little bit of a Thanksgiving special show. So, go to sleep, Oz. Well, it's only lunchtime Friday. So I can't go to sleep. But what I can do is I can help you go to sleep. If you would like to just listen in, relax, have a good time, help digest your food. I don't believe there's going to be a Jack show tonight because poor John Malin, wish you well, John Malin. He's not feeling very well. He's caught the Rona and he's been kept in hospital for some extra time. His wife probably can't visit him. His friends and family probably can't visit him. So we're all sending you well wishes over the internet, over the interwebs, except for Gail Simone. She is not wishing you well at all. In fact, Gail Simone is laughing at you. But hey, she's a whale. It's only 8:31 p.m. here on the West Coast. Oh, well, wait. If we're in the West Coast, then, you can have a bit of late night entertainment. We probably won't have a big audience tonight because of the holidays and everyone being asleep and or passed out or drunk or just simply unable to use their keyboards because they are retarded. However, I still endeavor to give you a great show. Linkovich Jamovsky says, I'm toasting this beer to my homie John. Speedy recovery, coach. Yeah, look, let's hope it all goes well. The virus is no joke, but it is a bit of a, I don't know. Oz is retoaded. Great Loner says, plus some people still hate you at Oz Art Creation. How can anybody hate me? How can anybody help me? I'm just here to help and spread love, to bring love to all my friends and family and subscribers. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you're watching this show back later and it's no longer Thanksgiving, well, enjoy the show that I'm about to put on for you. Did I tweet out the stream? No, I didn't tweet out the stream. I didn't do anything except, now let me turn on my camera here. It's something I don't normally do, okay? This is let me turn it on. Hang on a sec. I'm going to be doing some drawing for you lot, and I'm going to be playing a special recording a special Thanksgiving recording while I draw so I don't get too bored, because drawing streams are very boring. Drawing is very slow and tedious when you're doing final art. So I was messing around last night. I was doing some drawing and I had a little friend come in. I'm just going to grab his wings here. Can you see him? I had this little friend come and jump on my head. It's a beautiful praying mantis. I hope you can see him. I'm just trying to put a little noose around him so that he won't run away. A little lasso. Come on. Work with me here, little buddy. He's going to want to grab it and eat it. He's not very good at staying still. Put him here. Get off me. Stay there. Come back. Stay here. Stay here so that everyone can watch you. All right, now I have to do something. Yeah, he's on a leash line, Ren. That's right. Now I have to. How do I do this? Share screen. Share audio. Chrome tab. The tail of turkey Proudfoot. And then I need to come back here. I need to make me full screen. And look, don't say I'm tormenting the thing. He landed on my head and I'm saving him from a dog. Look, he's got out of his leash already. Hang on, come back. He's probably going to fly away soon, so enjoy him while you can.
By Arthur Scott Bailey. A strutter. All the hint.
Let me do this again.
Recording by Larry Wilson. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. A strutter. All the hen turkeys thought Turkey Proudfoot a wonderful creature. They said he had the most beautiful tail on the farm. When he spread it out and strutted about Farmer Green's place, the hen turkeys were sure to nudge one another and say, "Ahem!
Oh,
Isn't he
he's gone.
But the rest
Let me know if you can hear this.
Remarks about him. They declared Turkey Proudfoot to be a silly, vain gobbler, noisy and quarrelsome.
Let me put my earphones in and see whether I can hear it.
Everybody thought and said about this lordly person, Turkey Proudfoot. He did have a huge tail when he chose to spread it, and his feathers shone with a greenish, coppery, bronzy glitter that might easily have turned the head of anybody that boasted such beautiful colors. Certainly the hen turkeys turned their heads and craned their necks whenever Turkey Proudfoot came near them, and when he spoke to them, saying, "Gobble, gobble."
It's a bit low, isn't it? Let me see if I can fix this.
Always pleased. The hen turkeys seemed to find the remark, "Gobble, gobble, gobble," highly interesting, but everybody else complained about the noise that Turkey Proudfoot made, and said that if he must gobble, they wished he would go off by himself where people didn't have to listen to him. And nobody but the hen turkeys liked the way Turkey Proudfoot walked. At every
Sorry about the delay here, people. I'm just, this is the first time doing this one, and it's got a little bit of a different. Wow, let me just be honest, there's a lot of buttons to click. All right, let's try this again.
information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Larry Wilson. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. A strutter. All the hen turkeys thought Turkey Proudfoot a wonderful creature. They said he had the most beautiful tail on the farm. When he spread it out and strutted about Farmer Green's place, the hen turkeys were sure to nudge one another and say, "Ahem! Isn't he elegant?" But the rest of the farmyard folk made quite different remarks about him. They declared Turkey Proudfoot to be a silly, vain gobbler, noisy and quarrelsome. Now there was truth in what everybody thought and said about this lordly person, Turkey Proudfoot. He did have a huge tail when he chose to spread it, and his feathers shone with a greenish, coppery, bronzy glitter that might easily have turned the head of anybody that boasted such beautiful colors. Certainly the hen turkeys turned their heads and craned their necks whenever Turkey Proudfoot came near them, and when he spoke to them, saying, "Gobble, gobble, gobble," in a loud tone, they were always pleased. The hen turkeys seemed to find the remark, "Gobble, gobble, gobble," highly interesting, but everybody else complained about the noise that Turkey Proudfoot made, and said that if he must gobble, they wished he would go off by himself where people didn't have to listen to him. And nobody but the hen turkeys liked the way Turkey Proudfoot walked. At every step he took, he raised a foot high in the air, acting for all the world as if the ground wasn't good enough for him to walk upon. And when he wasn't picking up a seed, or a bit of grain, or an insect off the ground, he held his head very high. Often Turkey Proudfoot seemed to look right past his farmyard neighbors, as if he were gazing at something in the next field and didn't see them. But they soon learned that that was only an odd way of his. Really, he saw about everything that went on. If anybody happened to grin at him, Turkey Proudfoot was sure to take notice at once and try to pick a quarrel. After all, perhaps it wasn't strange that Turkey Proudfoot should act as he did. Being the ruler of Farmer Green's whole flock of turkeys, he was somewhat spoiled. All the hen turkeys did about as he told them to do. Or if they didn't, Turkey Proudfoot thought that they obeyed his orders. And the younger gobblers as well had to mind him. If they didn't, Turkey Proudfoot fought them until they were ready to gobble for mercy. Having whipped the younger gobblers a good many times, Turkey Proudfoot firmly believed that he could whip anything or anybody. And there was nobody on the farm, almost, at whom he hadn't dashed at least once. He had even attacked Farmer Green. But Farmer Green quickly taught him better. A blow on the head from a stout stick bowled Turkey Proudfoot over, and he never tried to fight Farmer Green again. That proved that Turkey Proudfoot wasn't as empty-headed as some of his neighbors thought him. It was possible to get a lesson into his head, even if one had to knock it into his skull with a club. End of chapter 1.
Chapter 2 of The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Elaine Conway, England. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 2 The Silly Six. Farmer Green owned 6 geese, though there was an even number of them. They were odd creatures. They had little to do with the other farmyard folk, but kept much to themselves. If one of them started up the road on some errand, the other 5 always followed her. if one of them suddenly took it into her head to enjoy a swim, her 5 companions were sure to want to, and waddled with her to the duck pond. Now, Turkey Proudfoot never went swimming. Like all the rest of the flock over which he ruled, he thought swimming was bad for one's health. He couldn't understand how anybody could enjoy cold water, except for drinking purposes. And somehow he always felt as if his feathers had been a bit ruffled whenever he saw the 6 geese set out for the duck pond. Although their taking a swim was no affair of his, still it made him angry. "Look at those geese!" he would gobble angrily to anybody that happened to be near him. "They're going to take another cold, wet bath. They're old enough to know better. I often wonder why Farmer Green wants such a stupid crew on his farm. The Silly 6, I call 'em." When Turkey Proudfoot talked in that fashion, there were some that didn't agree with him. The ducks never failed to quack their displeasure, and old Spot sometimes growled and told him he'd be the better for a good swim. But Turkey Proudfoot always declared, in answer to that he knew he'd catch his death of cold if he ever stepped into the duck pond. And there were some of the same mind as he. There was Miss Kitty Cat, who never liked to get her feet wet, and on stormy days lay by the hour beneath the kitchen stove and dozed. And there was the rooster. He didn't believe in wet, cold baths. He liked dry dust baths. And when one day Turkey Proudfoot turned to him suddenly and gobbled, "There go the Silly 6 to swim," the rooster answered with a sniff, "Well, let 'em go. Don't stop 'em on my account. I certainly don't want to join them." Turkey Proudfoot was all ready for a quarrel. "I hope you don't think I want to go swimming with the geese," he retorted. There was a dangerous glitter in his eyes. Seeing this, the rooster made haste to assure Turkey Proudfoot that he meant nothing of the sort. "Don't let's quarrel," the rooster cried, for he was much smaller than Turkey Proudfoot. "There's nothing for us to quarrel about. We're of the same mind about the geese and their swimming." "I'm disappointed," Turkey Proudfoot told him. "For a moment I thought I had an excuse for fighting you. And I'm not sure that I oughtn't be angry with you for agreeing with me when I didn't expect you to." The rooster gave a hoarse crow. He thought Turkey Proudfoot was joking. And being afraid of Turkey Proudfoot, the rooster felt obliged to laugh loudly at his jokes. "Don't laugh at me!" Turkey Proudfoot cried. "Can't I laugh at the 6 silly geese?" the rooster stammered. "Yes," said Turkey Proudfoot. "Yes, if you see anything funny about them. For my part, I couldn't laugh at them if I tried to. The mere thought of plunging into cold water almost gives me a chill." End of chapter 2. Chapter 3 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Elaine Conway, England. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 3. The Meddler. "Why don't you tell the geese that it's dangerous for them to swim in the duck pond?" the rooster asked Turkey Proudfoot. "Tell them how it almost gives you a chill just to see them out for the pond. Ask them to keep out of the water." Turkey Proudfoot drew himself up to his full height, spread his tail, and looked down at the rooster with great disdain. "Ask!" he claimed. "I never ask anything of anybody. I'll have you know, sir, that I give orders, and when I give 'em I expect folks to obey 'em." "Good!" cried the rooster, gaily. He was really shaking in his shoes and didn't intend to let Turkey Proudfoot know it. "Order the geese to stay away from the water. Command them to stop swimming. If you don't, you'll have a terrible chill some day when you see them set out for the duck pond, and you don't want to be ill just before the holidays." "That's true," said Turkey Proudfoot. "I don't want to get a chill and be ill." And then he turned suddenly upon the startled rooster. "Look here!" cried Turkey Proudfoot. "It seems to me that you are giving me orders." "Not at all," the rooster assured him. "No, indeed. You're mistaken." "Don't tell me I'm mistaken!" Turkey Proudfoot bawled in an angry, gobbly voice. "I'm never mistaken."
One
"Oh,
minute, Brother Gaius,
certainly
1 minute.
not," said the rooster. He was as bold as brass with most of his neighbors, but very mild with Turkey Proudfoot. "Ha!" Turkey Proudfoot exclaimed. "You're getting yourself into a hole, sir. If I wasn't mistaken, then you were giving me orders, and in either case I should have to fight you." This was too much for the rooster. He couldn't grasp what Turkey Proudfoot was saying. He only knew that things looked bad for him, because Turkey Proudfoot was getting angrier every moment. "I say," the rooster cried, "please don't waste your time on me just now, Mr. Turkey Proudfoot. Here come the 6 silly geese back from the duck pond, and I'd suggest that you speak to them at once and warn them not to enter the water again." Turkey Proudfoot glanced across the farmyard. It was as the rooster had said. The 6 geese were waddling around a corner of the barn in single file. Somehow the sight of them made him so furious that he forgot he had been picking a quarrel with the rooster. "I'll attend to them," he gobbled. "I'll fix them. They'll be so scared that they won't dare leave this yard again." Turkey Proudfoot hurried towards the geese. He didn't take time to strut, but ran across the yard with long strides. "Don't be silly geese!" Turkey Proudfoot called. "Keep away from the duck pond. The weather's getting colder every day, and it makes me shiver to see you start off for a swim." Turkey Proudfoot had supposed the 6 geese would be very meek and most eager to obey his commands, but to his great surprise they stopped, wheeled about so that they stood in a row facing him, and hissed loudly. It was not at all the sort of answer Turkey Proudfoot had expected. End of chapter 3. Chapter 4 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Elaine Conway, England.
You
The
guys are
Tale
so
of Turkey
harsh in the crowd there.
Proudfoot by
Why
Arthur
are you
Scott
coming in here and
Bailey.
just harassing
Chapter
poor
4
me?
Scaring the Geese.
How can I
The 6
perform under
geese
these
stood in a row and
circumstances?
hissed at Turkey Proudfoot. He was so astonished that any one of them could have knocked him over with a feather, almost. When he gobbled an order at them, telling them not to go swimming again, the geese hissed at him. That was just the same as telling him to keep still and mind his own affairs. And Turkey Proudfoot was not used to answers like that. The rooster had followed him across the farmyard in order to look on him and listen while Turkey Proudfoot spoke to the geese, and his surprise was as great as Turkey Proudfoot's. "Surely," he muttered to Turkey Proudfoot, "you aren't going to let these geese go unpunished. They've insulted you." "Ha! I thought they had," Turkey Proudfoot exclaimed, "and I'm glad to know that you agree with me. There's no doubt that they deserve a severe beating." "Ah!" the rooster cried. "Now we'll see some fun." "Yes," said Turkey Proudfoot, "I expect we'll have a merry time." Still he made no move to attack the geese, who stood motionless facing him like soldiers. "Well," the rooster said impatiently, "aren't you going to punish these geese?" "Certainly not!" Turkey Proudfoot cried. "Why did you tag after me across the yard if it wasn't to fight them? I've often heard that you were usually spoiling for a fight, so here's your chance." It was true, in a way, that the rooster was always ready to fight. Not one of the cockerels on the farm dared to speak to him, but he always took care to fight only such as he knew he could whip. Certainly, He had no desire to fight 6 geese all by himself. He drew back a little and shook his head. "This is not my quarrel," he declared. "But you suggested it," Turkey Proudfoot reminded him. "And now I suggest that you take it up. I did my part. You must do yours." A wild look came into the rooster's eyes. He wanted to run away, but he was a proud bird. He thought a great deal of the looks of things, and he didn't know just what to do. Then something happened that suddenly made him act, and act quickly. The 6 geese all took one step forward. The rooster turned tail and dashed around the barn, out of sight, and Turkey Proudfoot found himself facing the 6 geese, who soon took one more step towards him and hissed louder than ever. He had never felt so ill at ease in all his life, but he remembered that he was the ruler of the turkey flock and the handsomest bird on the farm. It would never do to have it said that he ran away from 6 silly geese. "I'll scare 'em," he thought. Thereupon he burst into a deafening gobble and took one step towards the geese. He had fully expected to see them fall back. What they actually did was most annoying. Every one of them took another step towards him. End of chapter 4. Chapter 5 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit
You'd have to be
LibriVox.org.
really wasted to listen to
Recording
this.
by
I
Elaine
can't believe they keep
Conway,
saying the same thing over
England.
and over again.
The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott
I
Bailey.
hope you're enjoying your
Chapter
Thanksgiving.
5 A Safe Perch. As Turkey Proudfoot faced the 6 geese in the
If
farmyard, he
Testify
began
HD
to
and
feel
Pan
that
come
he
on,
had
I will
made a
stop my
great
drawing stream.
mistake in speaking to them. The hisses were far from agreeable. They were even threatening. "This will never do," Turkey Proudfoot muttered to himself. "No doubt I could whip all 6 of them, but they'd be likely to put some of my tail feathers out, and I don't want my tail spoiled." For a moment or two he didn't know what to do, but suddenly an idea popped into his head. "Follow me," he ordered the geese, and wheeling about, he marched off across the farmyard. The geese waddled after him. Perched on top of a wagon wheel in front of the barn, the rooster saw the odd procession, and he gave voice loudly to his
Well, Red will go on
delight.
with
"The
Pan.
geese are
All
chasing
right,
Turkey
can someone
Proudfoot," he
message
crowed.
Pan?
He called to everybody to hurry and see the fun, and all the
I can't
hens came
remember what they were
a-running.
arguing about.
"Nonsense!" said Turkey Proudfoot. "I ordered the geese to follow me. They're simply obeying orders." And he strutted a little faster than usual towards the tree near the farmhouse where he roosted every night. "Halt!" he cried to the geese when they reached the tree. As he spoke, Turkey Proudfoot flapped himself up and settled on a low branch. At last he felt safe. He knew that the geese wouldn't follow him up there. With their webbed feet they never roosted in trees. Meanwhile the hen turkeys had come a-running too, from the meadow. They wanted to see what was going on, and they promptly fell into a loud dispute with the rooster and the hens. "He did!" the hens cackled, meaning that Turkey Proudfoot had run away from the geese. "He didn't!" the hen turkeys squalled, meaning that Turkey Proudfoot hadn't been chased, but had led the geese across the farmyard. The 6 geese took no part in the quarrel. He had driven Turkey Proudfoot into the tree, and knowing that he wouldn't come down so long as they waited there, they marched off in single file towards the duck pond. "Where are you going?" the rooster asked them. The leader of the geese turned her head at him and hissed, and her 5 companions turned their heads at him too, and hissed likewise. "I ordered them to go and have a swim," Turkey Proudfoot cried from his
I thought he
tree
said
as
fapped. I
soon as
thought
the
she said
geese were
fapped
out of
himself up.
hearing. "I don't want them about the farmyard. I haven't time to bother with them. Besides, they're so stupid that I never could teach them anything. I walked ahead of them across the farmyard to show them the stylish strut, but they couldn't learn it. They'll waddle to the end of their days." There, cried the hen turkeys to the hens. You hear what he says? The geese weren't chasing him. He was trying to teach them to strut. Huh! exclaimed Henrietta Hen, who always spoke her mind right out. Turkey Proudfoot had better be careful. Some day those geese will teach him how to waddle. End of chapter 5. Chapter 6 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot.
Every
This
time.
is a LibriVox
I'm
recording
really
or
sorry.
LibriVox
I
recordings are
apologize
in
to
the
my
public domain.
subscribers for
For
the
more
torment that I put them through.
information
I
or to
thought this would be very
volunteer,
entertaining.
please visit
I may have been wrong. I
LibriVox.org.
can admit when I'm wrong.
Recording
It
by
doesn't mean I'm going to
Elaine
stop at that.
Conway,
I want to know what happens
England.
to Turkey.
The Tale of Turkey
I really hope he
Proudfoot
gets
by
eaten.
Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 6 The Mimic. Young Master Meadow Mouse had often peeped at Turkey Proudfoot from behind a clump of grass or a hill of corn, but he had never dared show himself to Turkey Proudfoot. Somehow the old gobbler looked terribly fierce, and he was so big that
Pencil by
Master Meadow
number. That's
Mouse
harsh.
didn't like the idea of even saying good
These are
day
all
to
original
him.
pencils.
He had heard Turkey Proudfoot spoken of as a gobbler. Who knew but that a gobbler would
Gobbler.
gobble up young Master Meadow Mouse if he had a chance? Unseen by everybody, Master Meadow Mouse had watched the geese drive Turkey Proudfoot across the farmyard and seen him flapping up to roost in a tree out of their reach. And though Turkey Proudfoot strutted and tried to act very lordly as he headed the procession across the yard, Master Meadow Mouse had noticed how Turkey Proudfoot kept a wary eye on the geese behind him and stepped not quite so high as he usually did, but further. "Ho!" Master Meadow Mouse had piped to himself in his thin voice. "Turkey Proudfoot is not the brave fellow I always thought him. He's afraid of geese." From that moment Master Meadow Mouse forgot his fear of Turkey Proudfoot. Nobody stands in awe of a coward. So the very next time that Master Meadow Mouse saw Turkey Proudfoot strutting in
She's
the
reading out a
yard, he
book
crept up behind Turkey
because she can't
Proudfoot and
pronounce her
tried to
R's.
walk exactly like him. There was a good many farmyard fowls scratching about the yard at the time, and wishing to appear at his best, Turkey Proudfoot spread his tail, puffed out his chest, and strolled all around as if he, and not Farmer Green, owned the place. Although Turkey Proudfoot seemed to see none of his neighbors, nevertheless he was watching them carefully out of the corner of his eye to see whether they were noticing
You
him.
spelled
They
two
were. There was no
incorrectly,
doubt of that.
Slickrick.
Not only were they looking at him, they were laughing at him as well. Turkey Proudfoot's face couldn't grow red with rage. It was red already. He was always red. Being very angry, he gobbled at giggling hens, at the rooster, even at old dog Spot. "Why are you laughing at me?" "We aren't," they cried. "You've no reason to be angry with us." "'Tis well," said Turkey Proudfoot, with a top lofty toss of his bald head. "Since you're not laughing at me, you needn't laugh at all. I don't like your sniggering." "We can't help laughing," a few of the more daring ones told him. "It's so funny." "What is?" "He is." "Who is?" "Master Meadow Mouse." "Master Meadow Mouse?" repeated Turkey Proudfoot in a bewildered fashion. He looked in front of him. He looked to the left. He looked to the right. He couldn't see Master Meadow Mouse anywhere. "Look behind you!" cried Henrietta Hen. Turkey Proudfoot turned his head. "I don't see any Master Meadow Mouse," he grumbled. "How can you, when your tail's spread like that?" Henrietta Hen asked him. "Close up your tail and then you'll see what we're laughing at." But Turkey Proudfoot declined to do anything of the sort. "It's
Chicks always
just a
want to change
trick,"
you.
he squalled. "You're all jealous of me and my beautiful tail. You don't want me to carry my tail this way." Behind Turkey Proudfoot's tail, Master Meadow Mouse did a very naughty thing. He stuck out his tongue, and all the onlookers shrieked with merriment. End of chapter 6. Chapter 7 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit
I expect you all to volunteer and read
LibriVox.org.
out a LibriVox
Recording by
recording.
Elaine Conway, England. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 7 Half Wrong. It was no wonder that Turkey Proudfoot was angry. Everybody in the farmyard was laughing and looking his way, or so it seemed to him. Since he couldn't see any joke, he decided to leave his silly neighbors and go off into the fields where he could be alone. So he walked slowly away, holding his head high and stepping in his most elegant manner. To his great disgust, peals of laughter followed him, and though he had intended to march off without saying a word, this last
I'm
outburst
still not
so
convinced
filled him
Risey
with
that can
rage that
read.
he couldn't resist spinning about to glare and gobble at his tormentors. He turned so quickly that he surprised Master Meadow Mouse with one of his tiny feet lifted high in the air. He surprised him so much that Master Meadow Mouse stood stock still and didn't even bring his foot down, but held it off the ground as if it had frozen stiff and couldn't be moved. At first there was a most joyful look on Master Meadow Mouse's face, but it faded instantly into one of doubt and dismay. To tell the truth, Master Meadow Mouse hadn't expected Turkey Proudfoot to turn around and catch him right in his mimicking act. "Aha!" cried Turkey Proudfoot. "So it's you that they're laughing at, eh?" Master Meadow Mouse was so upset that he murmured faintly, "Yes, it's me." "Well, I don't blame them," said Turkey Proudfoot. "You certainly look very queer. Why are you holding your foot off the
Is
ground
Shane
like
really
that?"
upset? What's he
"I
upset
was
about?
in the midst of taking a step when you turned around and startled me," Master Meadow Mouse explained, "and I don't know whether to set my foot down ahead of me or to put it behind me." "Don't be alarmed," Turkey Proudfoot said. "I never fight folks of your size. You're too little for me to pay much attention to. I must say, however, that you have a very odd way of walking." But this time Master Meadow Mouse had recovered from his surprise and wasn't afraid in the least. Now he laughed heartily. "I was walking the way you walk," he cried. "Oh, no!" Turkey Proudfoot exclaimed. "No, indeed! You certainly weren't." He didn't ask Master Meadow Mouse's pardon for contradicting. "I'd like to know why I wasn't," Master Meadow Mouse replied somewhat hotly. "I was strutting right behind you, all the way across the yard. That's why everybody was giggling." "It's no wonder they were poking fun at you," Turkey Proudfoot told him. "You amused the neighbors because you thought you were strutting, while you really weren't." Master Meadow Mouse put his foot down on the ground. He was puzzled. "I don't know why I wasn't strutting," he retorted. "I was raising my feet just as high as I could lift them."
I'll
"Ah,
I'll
yes,"
I'll
said
snipe the
Turkey
audio on
Proudfoot, "but
Shane's
you forget one thing." "What was
show
that?"
when I
"You didn't spread your
hear the
tail,"
end of what
Turkey
happens.
Proudfoot explained, "and that's half of strutting." "I didn't know it," Master Meadow Mouse stammered, and then he darted away to hide in the grass beyond the fence. He felt much ashamed to have made such a mistake. End of Chapter 7. Chapter 8 of the Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Elaine Conway, England. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 8 Hard to Please. It was very hard to please Turkey Proudfoot. To be sure, he always pleased himself. Nothing anyone else did seemed to suit him. And there was one thing that always made him peevish. That was the gobbling of the younger turkey cocks. To anybody that wasn't a turkey, their voices sounded just as sweet as Turkey Proudfoot's, but he claimed that there was something wrong with all gobbles except his own. Either they were too loud or too soft, too short, too high or too low, too long or too short. And whenever a young cock gobbled in his hearing, Turkey Proudfoot was sure to rush up to him and order him to keep still for pity's sake. They usually obeyed him. Not only was Turkey Proudfoot the biggest gobbler on the farm, but he had a fierce and lordly look about him. It was a bold young turkey cock that dared defy him. Once in a while one of them foolishly ventured to tell Turkey Proudfoot to mind his own affairs, and then there was sure to be a fight, a quick, short, noisy fray, which ended always in the same fashion, with Turkey Proudfoot chasing the young cock out of the farmyard.
She said
Luckily
cock.
for the youngsters, they could run faster than he could, for they were not nearly as heavy. Although Turkey Proudfoot didn't like to hear others gobble, nevertheless he enjoyed the excuse for a fight that their gobbling gave him, and when he had nothing more important to do, he often stood still and listened in the hope of hearing some upstart gobbler testing his voice in a neighboring field. Newly grown cocks had to go a long way off to be safe from Turkey Proudfoot's attacks. One day in the middle of the summer, the lord of the turkey flock was feeding behind the barn, when a loud gobble brought his head up with a jerk. "Ha!" Turkey Proudfoot cried. "That's somebody in the yard about the barn. He thinks I'm further away than this, or he'd never dare bawl like that." Turkey Proudfoot dashed around the barn at a swift trot. He was surprised to see not a turkey cock in the farmyard. The rooster was there, however, and the Turkey Proudfoot eyed him sternly. "You weren't trying to gobble a moment ago, were you?" he inquired. "No, indeed," said the rooster. "Somebody gobbled," he declared. "I'm sure the noise came from this yard. I was behind the barn when I heard it, and I hurried around the corner at once." "Maybe the person that gobbled ran around the other end of the barn to dodge you," the rooster suggested. "I'll go and see," said Turkey Proudfoot, and he went back where he came from. He found nobody there, but that annoying gobble sounded again and brought him back into the yard, even faster than before. "Who did that?" he squalled. And somebody mocked him. Somebody repeated his question after him. It was the same voice that had gobbled. Turkey Proudfoot's rage was terrible to see. End of chapter 8.
Chapter 9 of The Tale
Who's
of
this
Turkey
guy?
Proudfoot.
So,
This is a LibriVox
this guy
recording.
sounds like he's
All
nearly going to die.
LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Shasta, Oakland, California. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 9. A Strange Gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. Turkey Proudfoot stood in the farmyard and craned his neck in every direction. That sound certainly was close at hand, yet there wasn't a turkey cock anywhere in sight, either on the ground or in the trees. Just for a moment, Turkey Proudfoot was worried. "That wasn't my gobble, was it?" he asked the rooster. "If I gobbled, I didn't know it." "No, you didn't gobble," said the rooster. "Though I must say that gobbling sounded a good deal like yours." "Gobble, gobble, gobble, gobble!" "There it goes again!" cried Turkey Proudfoot.
Needless to say,
He was almost frantic.
this is amusing.
"How can I fight that fellow if I can't see him?" he cried. He looked up at the roof of the barn, but there was no one there except the gilded rooster that told which way the wind blew. He looked up at the roof of the farmhouse. "You don't suppose that fellow's hiding in the chimney, do you?" he asked. "No doubt he is," said the rooster. "If I were you, I'd fly up there and catch him." "The roof's high for one of my weight to fly to," Turkey Proudfoot remarked. "Still, I could flap up to the top of the woodshed and get to the roof of the house from there. I'll take a look and see how high the house seems when I'm near it." To the rooster's delight, Turkey Proudfoot started toward the house. The rooster promptly called to all the hens to come quick, because Turkey Proudfoot was going to fly to the roof of the farmhouse. "I hope he won't get into trouble," said the rooster with a chuckle. "It would be a pity if he fell down the chimney." In spite of his words, the rooster didn't look at all uneasy. Indeed, the only thing that worried him was the fear that Turkey Proudfoot wouldn't get himself into a scrape. But he thought it more polite not to say exactly what he hoped. Turkey Proudfoot stalked up to the farmhouse and stopped near the piazza. He was gazing upward and measuring the height of the roof with his eye when all at once a loud gobble, 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 gobble almost tipped him over backward. The outcry came from the farmhouse. There was no doubt of that, but it didn't come from the roof, nor the chimney. Turkey Proudfoot stared at the windows and the doors and saw no one except Miss Kitty Cat dozing on a windowsill. Then something moved beneath the piazza ceiling. It was a cage, which swayed as a green figure clung to the wires on one side of it. "I'm a handsome bird," a voice informed Turkey Proudfoot. "Gobble, gobble, gobble, gobble." For once in his life, Turkey Proudfoot hadn't a word to say. For the moment he was struck dumb. At last he found his voice. "Who are you?" he bellowed. "Ha, ha, ha, ha!" "Don't laugh at me!" cried Turkey Proudfoot. "Polly wants a cracker," said the green bird. A few quick steps brought Turkey Proudfoot upon the piazza, near the cage where the annoying green person swung and made queer throaty noises, sounds which only angered Turkey Proudfoot the more. Turkey Proudfoot took a little run and rose into the air to crash against the cage and then fall flapping upon the piazza floor. The green person shrieked, and the hired man, with an axe in his hand, peered out of the woodshed door. "Here, you old gobbler, you leave our Polly alone," he called, and he ran out and gave Turkey Proudfoot a sharp rap with the axe helve. Turkey Proudfoot ran off and hid behind the barn and sulked. "There's a bird around here," he muttered, "that mocks Miss Kitty Cat, and they call him a catbird. Now here's a bird that mocks me, so I should think they'd call him a turkey bird. But they don't. I heard the hired man call him Pretty Polly." "Pretty Polly, indeed!" Turkey Proudfoot sniffed. "That creature is nothing but a bunch of green feathers and a loud voice." End of chapter 9. Chapter 10. of The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Shasta, Oakland, California. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 10. The Worm Turns. Henrietta Hen had no love for Turkey Proudfoot. Beginning with the days of her chickenhood, he had always ordered her about, telling her not to do this and not to do that. Even after she was grown up and had a family of her own, Turkey Proudfoot treated her as if she had just begun to scratch for herself. If Henrietta Hen found a spot where somebody had spilled a few kernels of corn, Turkey Proudfoot was more than likely to rush up to her and cry, "Go away! I've had my eye on that corn for some time. I saw it first." On such occasions there was nothing Henrietta Hen could do except to stand aside and look on while Turkey Proudfoot ate the corn. He was so much bigger than she that he could bowl her over easily. On her own account, Henrietta didn't really think it worthwhile to try to make any trouble for Turkey Proudfoot. But when she led her first brood of chicks into the yard to teach them to find food for themselves, Turkey Proudfoot's lordly ways made her very angry. "Move your family over to the gravel drive," Turkey Proudfoot ordered her. Henrietta Hen said flatly that she wouldn't. "There are no bugs, no worms in the gravel," she told him. "My chicks have a right to go anywhere on this farm." Turkey Proudfoot looked at her in amazement. Never before had Henrietta Hen spoken to him in such a way. "Hoity-toity!" he exclaimed. "Aren't you forgetting your manners, Henrietta?" "No, I'm not," she snapped. "I've stood too much from you all my life. I warn you now that the worm has turned." Turkey Proudfoot glanced quickly down at the ground. "Where's the worm?" he asked. "Point him out to me before he gets away." "There!" cried Henrietta Hen. "That's just like you. If anybody spies a worm, you think you ought to have it." "Come, come!" Turkey Proudfoot coaxed her. "Don't let's quarrel over a mere trifle such as a worm. Just show me where you saw him turn, and I'll show you how to snatch a worm up in the neatest and quickest fashion." Henrietta Hen tossed her handsome head. "The worm I was talking about is right before you," she sniffed. "If you can't see it, I shan't help you." Of course, she had been talking of herself when she remarked that the worm had turned. She had meant that she had always allowed Turkey Proudfoot to treat her like a worm under his feet. But at last she had made up her mind that he shouldn't order her about any longer. Meanwhile, Turkey Proudfoot was fast losing his temper. "You've caused me to lose a fine fat worm, and you shall suffer for it," he scolded. "The only thing for you to do is to offer me a fine fat chick in its place." At that,
It's my
Henrietta
kind of
Hen
turkey.
set up a great clamor. "I'll do nothing of the sort!" she shrieked, and then she screamed for the rooster. Come quick, Mr. Rooster. Help! Help! End of chapter 10.
You finished streaming already?
No, I'm still
Chapter
streaming.
11.
Okay.
I'm still streaming.
Tale of Turkey Proudfoot.
What's
This
this?
is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information,
People can hear you, by the way.
or to volunteer,
People can hear you.
please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Shasta, Oakland, California. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 11. Bluster. Soon after Henrietta Hen shrieked
yeah,
to
maybe.
the rooster, he came hurrying around a corner of the barn. When he saw Turkey Proudfoot towering above Henrietta and her new brood of chicks in the middle of the farmyard, he stopped short. To tell the truth, the rooster was afraid of Turkey Proudfoot and usually took pains to keep out of his way. "Go back," Turkey Proudfoot called to him. "You're not needed here. There's been a little difficulty, but I can settle it myself." "Oh, very well," the rooster replied. "I'm glad there's no great trouble. When I heard Henrietta calling me, I thought she was in danger." He turned then to slink away behind the barn. "Don't desert me," Henrietta Hen besought him. "Help! Help!" Turkey Proudfoot waved a wing at the rooster. "Don't pay any attention to her," he said. "She's excited. I'll have her calm down in no time." "Of course I'm excited," Henrietta Hen cried. "Don't let him deceive you, Mr. Rooster. He's been threatening me." Turkey Proudfoot bade her in an undertone to be quiet. "Go along about your business," he told the rooster. "She's mistaken. I haven't said I'd harm her." "No, but he's talking about eating one of my chicks, and that's worse," Henrietta screamed.
Is it? Hang on a second.
"If you're as brave as I always supposed, Mr. Rooster, you'll defend my family." Although the rooster was terribly frightened and wanted to run away, he simply couldn't desert Henrietta Hen. "She's a nuisance," he muttered as he marched across the farmyard. "I don't see why she wanted to bring her chicks out here where Turkey Proudfoot would see them. She's landed me in a scrape. There won't be much left of me when that old gobbler gets through with me." Nevertheless, the rooster put up a bold front. Drawing himself up to look his tallest, he glared at Turkey Proudfoot and said shrilly, "What do you mean by annoying this lady?" Turkey Proudfoot gulped. He wondered what had come over his neighbors. The rooster had always acted afraid of him. Though small, the rooster was strongly built, and he had a sharp bill and sharp spurs, too. Turkey Proudfoot noted these details carefully. "I won't have to fight him," he thought. "I'll behave so fiercely that the rooster will be glad to run off, and then I'll run after him so folks will think I'm chasing him." Turkey Proudfoot then began to bluster. He gobbled loudly, without saying anything at all. He even made a few quick passes at the rooster with his bill. To his dismay, the rooster merely dodged. He didn't turn tail and run, as Turkey Proudfoot had hoped he would. "I'll have to try something else," Turkey Proudfoot said to himself. So he flapped his wings and jump up and down and around the rooster. The rooster was very ill at ease, but he didn't let Turkey Proudfoot know that. He kept turning about so that he faced Turkey Proudfoot all the time, and he said to Henrietta Hen, "Gather your chicks and get them out of the way. There's going to be trouble here." Henrietta Hen obeyed him without a word, and she had no sooner shooed her youngsters into the chicken house than Turkey Proudfoot gave a loud laugh, a somewhat forced yet loud laugh. "You're just the sort of bird I like," he told the rooster. "I've been testing you to see if you were brave. I'm delighted to find that you are, and I suggest that you and I stand by each other
Nothing.
and run things
Nothing.
in this yard to suit
I'm
ourselves.
just laughing at you.
When folks don't do as I tell them to, you and I will attend to them." "Agreed," cried the rooster. He was greatly flattered. "We'll make the neighbors step lively." And off he went to find Henrietta Hen and tell her how he and Turkey Proudfoot were going to help each other. "You're even sillier than I supposed," she informed the rooster to his great astonishment. He had expected nothing but praise from her. He left her hurriedly, and he felt quite glum. "She's just like the whole hen family," he grumbled. "You never can tell what they're going to do or what they're going to say. They may squawk and cross the road. They may cross the road and not squawk. They may squawk and not cross the road. They may not cross the road and not squawk. I don't believe they know themselves what they're going to do next." End of chapter 11.
Bring it home.
Chapter 12 of The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Shasta, Oakland, California. The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot by Arthur Scott Bailey. Chapter 12. Mr.
This is like
Crow's
listening
news.
to the most boring,
There was no denying
boring
the
person on earth.
rooster at Farmer Green's place had handsome tail feathers, but they were as nothing compared with Turkey Proudfoot's. Not only were the roosters fewer in number, but he couldn't spread them fan fashion. Mr. Grouse, who lived in the woods beyond the pasture, could spread his tail, but he was a much smaller bird than Turkey Proudfoot, and his tail wasn't nearly as big. Turkey Proudfoot often remarked that he had no rival. To be sure, there were young gobblers on the farm, but in the matter of tails, Turkey Proudfoot outshone them all. Farmer Green once had another turkey cock that bade fair to have as fine a tail as Turkey Proudfoot's, and for a time this gentleman made Turkey Proudfoot feel a bit uneasy. "I'll have to fight him and pull out some of his tail feathers," Turkey Proudfoot decided. But on the very day in the fall when Turkey Proudfoot intended to pick a quarrel with this person and spoil his fatal beauty, he was missing, and oddly enough, nobody ever saw him around the farmyard again. Turkey Proudfoot went so far as to hint that he had scared the fellow away. Not many believed that that was what happened, however, for old dog Spot claimed to have seen one of the missing gobbler's wings hanging in the kitchen of the farmhouse. Mrs. Green uses it for a brush, Spot had explained. When he heard that story, Turkey Proudfoot exclaimed, "Nonsense! A fox's tail is a brush, but a turkey's wing is a wing. Old dog Spot doesn't know what he's talking about. No doubt Mrs. Green has a fox's brush hanging up beside her kitchen range." Still, most of the farmyard folks insisted that the missing gobbler had met with an accident. Anyhow, the question as to what had become of him didn't trouble Turkey Proudfoot. The fellow was gone, and there wasn't another young gobbler on the farm that was likely to have a tail out of the ordinary. So Turkey Proudfoot was content. His peace of mind lasted only a few days. He was ranging through the meadow one morning when he heard a great commotion in the farmyard. Old Mr. Crow soon came sailing over the edge of the woods to see what was the matter, and after a while he went sailing back again. On his way, he stopped to drop down into the meadow and speak to Turkey Proudfoot. "You ought to hurry home," Mr. Crow croaked. "Johnnie Green has a new pet. You ought to see him." "Johnnie's pets don't interest me," Turkey Proudfoot sniffed. "He's never owned a pet yet that had a tail worth looking at twice. As for his guinea pigs, well, they haven't tails that you could look at even once. They haven't any tails at all. I must say, I don't admire Johnnie Green's taste in pets," said Turkey Proudfoot. "Ah, this one is different," Mr. Crow told him with a hoarse laugh. "When you see his tail, you'll fold yours up in a hurry, and you'll never spread it again." "Impossible!" cried Turkey Proudfoot. "Impossible!" He was so angry with Mr. Crow that he couldn't say anything more. For all that, he strode away toward the farmyard, and he had a most uneasy feeling under his wishbone. End of chapter 12. Chapter 13 of The Tale of Turkey Proudfoot.
Wait a minute.
This is a LibriVox recording.
13.
All LibriVox
My list only goes up to
recordings are
12.
in the public domain. For more information,
I can't listen to any more. I can't listen anymore. It's my stream. Skinny pigs. I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know where they're gonna go with this. When does he become dinner? I don't know when he becomes dinner. All right. So what's going on, everybody? How are we on this fine day? The story ends with him being dinner, really? Is that true? I hope so, because that was really fucking boring. I've got a sandwich wrap baguette here, and I've got, what have I got? I've got some kind of something here. So that's pretty cool. I might eat my lunch. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. About to guess. You finally found something that no one can fap to. That's right. That's right. It is the end. Well, look, now that I've ended the Turkey show, the viewers are leaving. So obviously everybody was here to listen to Turkey. I will be back. I will be back at some stage because people are demanding that I stream. Maybe I'll have someone here with me next time, and they can yell at each other, and that will keep you entertained. But I think on Thanksgiving we should give thanks that we're all not dead. We're still alive and able to access the internet. I hope you enjoyed my little show. Leave a comment below if you had any questions about the art or what's going on. Otherwise, I'll catch you later.
It's the Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you. The Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you.
I've come